A group of 65 chimps, the remnants of 400 ex-test subjects of the US-funded research projects who survived decades of invasive experiments, are now able to enjoy their days eating fruit and being cared for, scattered across 6 uninhabited river islands near Liberia. The traumatized animals, some of which underwent several hundred biopsies, cannot be released into the wild, and are confined to their new home, about 34 miles south of the West African country's capital Monrovia, for life. Chimp testing in Liberia began 1974, when the New York Blood Center, NYBC, funded biomedical research related to hepatitis B and other diseases at a complex by the Farmington River. During Liberia's devastating 1989–2003 civil war, the chimpanzees nearly starved to death as the country imploded around them. Research staff in the impoverished country had to dig into their own pockets to provide basic sustenance. The researchers retired many of the chimps to the river islands in the mid-2000s, but their ordeal continued. For reasons that remain unclear, NYBC cut funding in 2015, in a move that provoked global outrage, abandoning the apes on the tiny river islands incapable of supporting them. Activists picketed NYBC headquarters in New York, and Hollywood stars such as Joaquin Phoenix and Ellen Page signed a petition urging the blood bank to reinstate funding. Brian Hare, a US-based primatologist who launched the petition, wrote at the time, "Effectively they have left these poor chimpanzees to suffer from dehydration and starvation." Vet Richard Suna said they were traumatized, and called one grizzled ape with a missing arm a victim of torture. The chimp, named Bullet, lost the limb as an infant when poachers killed his mother and ripped him from her arms. He then ended up at the research lab. The former lab chimps now enjoy veterinary care and 2 daily meals, although many still bear the scars of their grim past. Carers wade towards the shore to feed the apes, hurling fruits and imitating chimpanzee calls as they go, letting the rehabilitating animals enjoy portions of bananas, palm nuts and cassava. Mr. Suna, who is also a director of Humane Society International, HSI, a rights group that now looks after the primates, said that the carers are trained to form close attachments with the chimpanzees and to be gentle. He added that certain stimuli can trigger negative memories in chimps, as in humans. Care will continue until every ape on the islands dies, according to the vet. They never learn to fend for themselves, and there are also fears they would spread disease if humans came into contact with them. He estimates that their lifelong care will last some 50 years. Many of the chimps are around 20 years old and have a lifespan of about 60. There are also a small number of babies. HSI plans to vasectomize the males to prevent further births. Standing near the rusted animal cages of the old research complex, Mr. Suna told AFP, "The future is very bright. As much as we would like to leave them back in the wild, they're in a better place." Liberia is one of the world's poorest countries, where 44% of the population lives on less than $1.90 per day, according to the World Bank. Local staff at the research center kept showing up to work to help the chimps when NBC cut funding, at a time when an Ebola epidemic was raging in Liberia. Rights groups and U.S. financial giant Citigroup also provided relief funds during the turbulent period. Under pressure, NBC eventually struck an agreement to split the long-term care costs for the chimps with the Humane Society in 2017, pledging $6 million. NBC did not respond to questions from AFP about why it withdrew funding.